welcome back to the Hypocritics podcast. This is episode 42.
We missed you.
That was creepy.
That's kind of what I was going for.
Okay, cool. So, my name is Carl, and I am joined here with just Caleb the Sane this week.
Yep, just me.
All right, so we've got a lot of news to get through this week. So, let's kind of dive right into it. And as I'm fond of saying, we'll address the elephant in the room right now, right here. In our movie section, first up, Marvel Phase 3 release dates. So.
Should I give the rundown?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to do it in chronological order, okay? So, starting in 2016, we have May 6th release of Captain America Civil War, November 4th of that year's Doctor Strange, and then 2017, we have a May 5th release of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, a July 28th release of Thor Ragnarok, a November 3rd release of Black Panther. This is fucking ridiculous.
It
2018, we have a May 4th release of Avengers Infinity War Part 1.
Oh, you skipped Captain Marvel.
Oh, I did.
And Inhumans.
I skipped Captain Marvel. No, Inhumans and Captain Marvel are 2018.
Oh, okay.
So 2018, we have Avengers Infinity War Part 1. July 6th, we have Captain Marvel. November 2nd, we have Inhumans. And then in 2019, which sounds like the fucking future. Okay, like distant future. In 2019, May 3rd, we have Avengers Infinity War Part 2. Holy crap with the announcements.
Holy crap, indeed. This is huge. So we've all kind of known that the Civil War was going to happen in Captain America.
I've already said my piece on the Civil War.
Yes, so we know that that's going down, and we also know that Black Panther will be in that movie.
Yeah, it's on Chadwick Boseman's IMDb page is where I first saw it.
I first saw it on pictures of him on stage with Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans during the announcement.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I went straight to the same source I always go to. So
fair enough.
Right. I have a lot to say.
All right. Yeah, say your piece.
Let's do it chronologically as well.
Okay,
I've already said my piece about the Civil War. That takes us to Doctor Strange. Okay?
Yes.
I'm not going to give you a summary about the announcement of Doctor Strange, but I am going to give you a couple of things to think about. I will tell you that it's been confirmed that it is, in fact, going to be Benedict Cumberbatch playing Doctor Strange, which is pretty exciting.
Was that confirmed? Last I'd seen that they were just in talks, in final negotiations.
It's a done deal.
Okay.
So, Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange. Originally, he actually declined. He said that he wasn't going to do it because he had stage obligations, because he was going to be playing Hamlet, but apparently they worked around that. Some of the things that you want to think about with that is that the Civil War is going to be a Marvel Cinematic Universe event. It's going to be a defining moment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Doctor Strange is the first Marvel flick to come out after the Civil War. That makes it a pretty important film. It's going to be the rebuilding film. Yeah, this Doctor Strange will actually kind of be like a pulse check on the Marvel Cinematic Universe after Civil War. Yeah. And then after Doctor Strange, we got Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I'm pretty stoked about.
Marvel proved that anything could be done with Guardians of the Galaxy 1, so I'm on board for 2.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't officially announced it, but I don't think they have to. James Gunn is going to come back and direct again.
Yeah.
And it was him that was making the announcement with Chris Pratt.
Yep.
When they talked about it, so I think that's a pretty surefire thing.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Some of the things I think you can probably expect from the film is, like, we saw Star-Lord in the first movie, Peter Quill, and he went from a womanizing, thieving, douchebaggy sort of character to being a fairly mature leader type.
Yeah.
Yep,
that's true.
What we can expect is that he's going to still have mommy issues, like he did in the first one, especially because of Awesome Mix Volume 2.
Yeah.
And I think we're also going to see him search for his real dad.
Yeah. You think that'll lead to, what was his name, Adam Warlock?
Yes, I do.
All right.
I do. But I explained that to you because of the cocoon and the...
Yeah, which we'll need that for the Infinity War.
Yeah. I mean, Adam Warlock was a very key player in the Infinity War in the comics.
Right.
So, but, again, it's the cinematic universe. I don't know. They're not going to make an Adam Warlock movie. That's for fucking sure. So.
Yeah, no.
Also, I think that we're going to see more of Thanos because Marvel needs to build Thanos.
Oh, they need to, like, he's had this really slow burn where we don't really know what he's capable of. Yeah. And so we really need to see, like, how that's going to pan out.
I mean, with Gamora being his adopted daughter, aka his kidnapped daughter, Thanos doesn't strike me as the forgive and forget type. I don't think he's just going to let it stand with Gamora out there, running and doing her thing. He's going to show up again.
Oh yeah, he definitely will.
He'll be the puppeteer pulling the strings yet again. Groot. I mean, Groot's going to come back. He's a fan favorite. I mean, Groot's going to be regrown probably. We're going to see Groot in his full fleshed out form, I think.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to doubt that that's happening.
All right. Drax the Destroyer. I think we're going to learn a lot more about Drax just because of an interview that was done in July with James Gunn by Cinema Blend. And he basically said that there's a lot you don't know about Drax, and he's hoping to make it very clear. Drax was a very, very key player in the comics, too. He actually killed Thanos in the comics, which that's a big fucking deal.
Big deal.
Thanos is basically a god most of the time. I mean, he's an all-powerful being. So.
Yeah, I don't know enough about him.
And Rocket. Well, he's still just a fucking raccoon. But that's his charm. He's going to be back, too.
Of course.
I mean, well, obviously they're all going to be back. What I mean to say is we're going to see more Rocket as we saw previously.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to say that it's a surefire bet that Yondu is going to be coming back.
You think so?
Well, here's the thing: is it was teased in the film that Yondu is basically one of the only people who knows who Peter Quill's real dad was.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay, so I think for the angle to work where Peter Quill's looking for his dad,
you need Yondu
needs to be around. Plus, James Gunn and what's his face,
Michael Rooker.
Yeah, they have a relationship. Like they've worked together before. So
yeah,
that's what I feel for Guardians 2. Thoughts?
No, that makes sense. That's perfect.
Then let's move on to Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
All right. So Kevin Feige I don't know if he meant to announce it the way that he did, but he basically confirmed that Thor is not going to be a part of the Civil War. And the way that he did that is because he was doing an interview with Marvel.com, and what he said was, in Thor Ragnarok, we are going to pick up with the character where we left him in Age of Ultron. And if you look at the times when the films are released, Age of Ultron obviously is happening before the Civil War happens, and Thor Ragnarok happens after it. Right. Ragnarok was a huge event in the comics.
Yes, it was.
And Thor was not involved in the Civil War in the comics due to his tie-ups, taking care of Asgard for the impending Ragnarok. So, that said, that seems like they're sticking pretty true to the comics, which fits an overarching theory that I've talked to you about OTM. All of this fits an overarching theory that I've discussed with you, OTM, which is pretty exciting to me.
So do you think that they're going to kind of continue their trend of not so much time jumping, but each of their movies taking place at a slightly different time in the overall timeline? Like how Captain America took place way before, and then, like, what am I thinking of? Hulk took place just after Iron Man, but before such and such, but after other, like, are they going to continue that kind of jostling around and make Thor Ragnarok take place during Civil War?
I think either that's going to happen, or it's going to have happened before Civil War.
Right.
Or he's just tied up preparing, because if you recall at the end of Thor 2, The Dark World, Odin.
Yeah, okay. Odin was gone.
Odin was gone. Loki was there. With Odin gone, who takes the throne?
Who's supposed to, or who has it now? Right now, Loki has it.
Well, that's how Ragnarok started.
Right.
But who, even if we go past that, who's supposed to? Thor. Okay. That said, do you think that Thor could really be present on Earth if he's the ruler
on the throne in Asgard? Yeah. Exactly. I kept wanting to say Valhalla, and I knew that wasn't right.
Definitely not right. That brings us to the thing. One of the things I'm most excited about is the Black Panther.
Yes.
I don't have a lot of deets about the movie. They're not there.
Nope, not there yet. Did you see? Obviously, you saw the like concept art for the costume.
Yes. Very exciting.
Looks pretty decent.
I'm happy with the choices they made as far as casting goes.
Yeah, me too.
One interesting thing to think about, I suppose, is that Black Panther has a lot of tie-ins in the comics with characters who aren't currently the property of Marvel.
Yeah, he does.
Right?
Like Storm.
It's going to be interesting to see if they just leave those sorts of connections out, or if they
make
replace
new
them,
ones.
right?
That's what I'm thinking.
He's married to Storm. One of his biggest enemies is Doctor Doom. Yeah, so it's, how do you tell a Black Panther story without the supporting characters? It'll be interesting. I'm excited to see it. I'm pretty sure I know the role that the Black Panther is going to play in the Civil War, and I'm pretty excited for it as well. And I mean, honestly, the Black Panther was a cornerstone of the Avengers in the comics. He was a powerful character. So, I mean, that said, I'm more than happy to see him coming to the big screen. Beyond that, we have Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Okay. I'm pretty excited.
How can you not be? And they stated that it's going to be Carol Danvers.
Yes. Yeah. And, that's cool. Carol Danvers is cool. I mean, in the comics, she ended up becoming a huge boozer and becoming horribly unreliable, but I'm pretty sure that's not the Carol Danvers they're going to be showing in the movies.
Probably not. I have a question, though.
Yeah.
Because this leads me to another theory that I have. Because as of yet, when it comes to Marvel movies, for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we've got a shit ton of things planned up for the next 5 years. But when it comes to their television universe, there's not as much. There's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There's the Agent Carter, which is going to be like 6 episodes or 8 episodes, something like that.
The Netflix series.
And then the Netflix series, which will lead up to the Defenders. But after that, there's not a whole lot that's been talked about in TV. And I feel like this could be leading to a Miss Marvel. Like, if they took like the ultimate, I think it's the ultimate Miss Marvel, and did a TV show like that. I feel like it could be leading to something like that.
That would make me sad, and I'll tell you why. There are 2 races going on, okay? There's a movie race and a TV race.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel's winning the movie race.
That's true.
They're losing the TV race.
That's also true.
DC has a more dynamic way of telling a story on television. They're better at it.
I don't know if they're better at it, but they are.
They're more loyal to their comics.
With their TV stuff?
Yes.
Like recently?
Yes.
Like Arrow and Gotham?
I'm thinking Gotham and Flash. Yeah.
How is Gotham loyal to the comics?
It's developed.
I haven't seen any of Gotham yet, but the whole concept seems like it's completely disloyal to the comics.
Then you need to see it, and then we can have this conversation.
Oh, okay.
Because you'll understand. I mean, they're taking side characters who have always been there, and they're giving them more depth without ruining them, which is surprising to me because I'm not a big DC fan.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, if you take a look at the Marvel side of things, they're not really touching any of the comic book stuff at all. Their television series lives within their movie universe.
Yeah.
And it's like, alright, so it's a story that's being told about a big screen universe on a small screen. It's like watching a movie on your cell phone.
I disagree with that.
It's not the format the story's supposed to be told in, and
I disagree with that
they're
because,
struggling.
Well, no, because think of this. If it were, I don't think it's a big screen story told on the small screen. Because if that were the case, then they would have an Iron Man TV show or a Thor TV show. And that's not the case. They're taking, like, the big screen is for epic stories, for stories that need an epic, big budget form of storytelling. Whereas you can utilize TV to tell more grounded, down to earth, smaller stories, like with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now, which ties into the movie universe, but does not rely on epic storytelling to tell the story.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is losing me.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has reportedly gotten better in Season 2. I haven't had a chance to watch any of it yet.
I haven't watched Season 2 either.
But Season 1 definitely started an uptick. And if Season 2 has continued that, which I hear, then it makes a lot of sense. And so in that aspect, when it comes to the storytelling aspect of it, I don't know if DC or Marvel has the upper hand in TV, but when it comes to the sheer number and the number of fans for the TV audience, DC's definitely winning.
I think that where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is handcuffed is that they are telling a story in a world where the events are being dictated by big-name stars. The stories that are being told in the movies are dictating the events of the television series.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That said, none of the key players that are dictating all of the events in the television series are going to appear in the television series, and that can be clumsy.
True and false. Because in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Jasper Sitwell appeared in Captain America the Winter Soldier, and he came straight from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They basically lifted him from the set and put him on that ship in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And throughout the rest of the movie, actually.
Mm-hmm. Right. But
okay.
I still don't think that it works what, for example, Gotham is doing.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I can tell, they aren't creating a story that ties to their movie universe. I guess that's
They're definitely not.
Okay, so that said, they are able to focus all of their attention on making a great television program.
Mm-hmm.
And they're succeeding so far.
I agree with you. In so much that I don't know if they're making a great television show because I haven't seen it, but I agree with that. That's what they're doing.
Marvel's got a lot of plates spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. feels like there are a lot of plates spinning. It feels like a project. It feels like one of many things that's going on.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
And I mean, that said, it feels like I don't know. It's almost like you almost have to compare it to the stories that are being told in the movies. And if you do that, you're going to feel let down. Because the movies are fantastic and they're wide in scope and they've got the bigger budgets and they've got the amazing actors and the big name stars. And I'm not bashing the actors on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because, I mean, Fitzsimmons, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. But they're not Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. They're not Chris Evans as Steve Rogers.
Right.
They're
good, but they don't have that level of pedigree, that same caliber that the movie universe has.
Exactly.
I agree with that 100%. Which kind of leads me to another question, because thus far, when it comes to the movie universe, strictly the movie universes, Marvel's been winning, and DC has yet to even get off the ground. Right. They've had like their Man of Steel, which kind of opens up that aspect of a movie universe. But they haven't done anything yet. They haven't really kicked that ball off.
Right.
And so we're all waiting with bated breath to see what'll happen.
Yeah.
I think the same could be said with Marvel's TV universe, where DC is ruling the day right now. Until those Netflix TV shows hit, we don't know what they're capable of in terms of an actual superhero TV show.
Can you see the execs at DC? They're like, you may have won the war, but you haven't won the battle.
Right. So yeah. So now that we've spent about 20 minutes on this subject.
Right.
Oh, did you have any thoughts on Inhumans and the Infinity War?
I'm excited for Inhumans, Black Bolt. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Vin Diesel playing Black Bolt in that film, which is good casting.
Mm-hmm.
It's good casting. You know why? Black Bolt hardly talks.
Doesn't talk.
Right.
He doesn't have to speak.
Right. And Vin Diesel is a great action star when it comes to action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not so much with the speaking. So, I mean, that said, it could be really, really good. Black Bolt's an intriguing and amazing and very powerful character. I think it's going to be important that he's put in there. Outside of that, the Avengers Infinity Wars, I have a lot to say about that. So let's hold off on that till another time. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. This might just be a longer episode because we've already spent a quarter of the time we're supposed to spend on one story.
We transformed this shit.
We did. And I still have one story or one question that we haven't talked about in this. So we'll hit that real quick. Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch. What do you think of that?
All right. So there are two lines of thought that you're going to see all over the place. some people will say, and none of it's good for some reason.
That's also true.
None of it's good. Nobody's saying good things. I'm going to say something good. Okay? Okay, but I'm going to wait to say it. So, people are either saying, oh, they picked Benedict Cumberbatch because he's so popular right now. He was a very safe choice to make.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go wrong with Benedict Cumberbatch, and that's just, stupid Marvel and your casting of him for Doctor Strange. You could have done better because, he's too much of a fan favorite, etc. He's too safe.
Right.
And on the polar opposite, people are saying, oh, he doesn't fit at all. He's absolutely terrible for it.
Right.
And it can't be both. Obviously, those are completely opposite things. He's either perfect for it, too perfect for it, or he's not perfect enough for it. Okay, me, he'll do. That's how I feel about it. He'll do.
Okay.
For Doctor Strange, I'm sure that he's very capable of pulling off the role. He can do it with the sort of reserved dignity that Doctor Strange has. Doctor Strange is somewhat of a physical character. He's not just a spell flinger. Right. You know what I mean? He gets in there and he will fight you. Okay? So that said, it'll be interesting to see that side of Benedict Cumberbatch.
It will. Got to see a little bit of that with Star Trek Wrath of Khan 2.
Okay.
But
never saw it. Not a Trekkie.
Yeah.
So
they prefer Trekker.
I don't care what they prefer. I really don't.
All right.
I set my comments to stun, okay? Just don't take it too harshly. So, that said, I think he's an incredibly capable actor. I'm excited to see him get a little strange.
Yeah. Nicely done. I agree with you and that first line of thought.
Too safe?
Here's my thoughts on it. And I put this on Twitter a little bit, but I'll expound upon it here. He is a very safe choice. You know that he'll be able to pull it off. That's not a bad thing. Like, everyone who's saying that that's a bad thing, they're wrong. That's not a bad thing. He's gonna pull it off. Marvel made a smart business decision.
Right. It's not like they cast Shia LaBeouf. You know?
It's not like they cast Channing Tatum, who would be able to pull in the box office, but that's a
magic, Mike.
Oh yeah, nicely done.
The magic.
So yeah, very safe choice, very good choice. He'll be able to do it. I would have hoped for something a little bit different, but that's just me fucking throwing shit out.
Walking Phoenix would have been really good. It's too bad that shit didn't pan out. But since it didn't,
Benedict Cumberbatch will work.
Right. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. See, exactly. That's why I say I agree with you. He'll do.
Let's fucking get on the bus, guys. This is we're all going to the game. You might as well just get on the bus.
True story. All right. So next story here. The Wonder Woman movie, the Solo movie, will be set to take place in the 1920s.
Yep. That's a rumor.
It's a rumor, yes.
It's a rumor. It was leaked on Bleeding Cool. And what they said about it was, I've been informed by those who have seen the greenlit treatment that the film will spend the first half on Paradise Island with warring Amazon factions vying for control. An arrival of a man on the island changes that status quo as he asks the Amazons for help. Because when Wonder Woman joins him on his return to the world of man, we all discover that it is in the 1920s, and the film will then show Diana exploring that world, which is a world where women have only just gotten the vote, from her unique perspective. What do you think about that?
I don't really know what to think about that. I'm not opposed to it in any way.
I mean, don't you think it's kind of silly having a superhero story told in a forgotten time, a time from years ago in the past?
No.
No, not at all?
No, not at all.
Man.
Sounds a little Captain America-y to me.
Does it? It sounds Captain America-y to you?
It smacks of Steve Rogers.
But I mean, Amazons, that'll never work because it's like a tribe of people that fight with really primitive yet magical weapons, and I don't think that'll ever work.
Sounds a little Thor-y.
Does it?
Just it smacks of Thor.
You're telling me that this sounds like they just kind of jammed Captain America and Thor's stories together in order to put a fucking movie out?
So, okay, I'm not saying that.
No.
I'm not saying that. But I'm kind of saying that.
I'm saying that.
That is kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah, it does. Which, I'm going to see it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to see Wonder Woman's an important character.
Yeah, I mean,
and they have an opportunity.
As much fucking like bullshitting that we do on this show, as much, like back and forth we go about these movies and shit like that and smack talk and all that, we're seeing all of them.
Sure.
Like, we're pretty much seeing all of these movies. So there's no use like beating around that particular bush. It is an interesting choice.
Nothing short of like casting Daniel Stern for Doctor Strange would keep me from seeing Doctor Strange. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going to see these films. They're important, and especially the Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel films, I feel are important right now because we were talking previously about soapboxes, how everybody's on a soapbox, and I'm not saying that in like a derogatory or horrible way. It's just people are getting very, very vocal about the things that they feel are prejudicial or mistreatment, ways that they're being mistreated or misrepresented. And one of the things that people are getting most vocal about right now is feminism.
Yep.
Okay. And in case you haven't noticed, the superhero movie world is sort of a guy gig right now.
Yep.
I'm excited to see what a woman can do. That's why I've always had a problem with the idea of Gal Gadot.
Really?
As Wonder Woman.
Explain. I don't know if we've gone over that.
Okay, well, here's the thing, is Wonder Woman, as an icon, is a very powerful, strong, level-headed, intelligent, leader-type character.
Yes.
Okay? Gal Gadot is a model.
Yes.
She looks like a model in a Wonder Woman outfit.
She does.
Okay? I'm afraid that she's going to sound like a model in a Wonder Woman outfit too.
No, I really hope not.
I hope not as well. I think that they missed an opportunity with the outfit to begin with.
You think so?
Yeah, they had a chance to make it less about sex appeal. And it doesn't seem like they were interested in that idea. I mean, they could have went any number of ways. The Amazon armor that Diana wears in the comics, when shit just hit the fan. I mean, that's a more conservative armor set, and it's badass, and it shows that she means business. Why couldn't they take that direction? But then again, we only have the one still to work off of.
Exactly.
So
that's what I was going to say. We don't know how the outfits are going to change.
I mean, it could go any number of ways. I'm not hopeful, and I feel like opportunities have been missed, but I haven't confirmed that yet. We'll have to see.
Yeah. To go to the point of that, of the costume choices and whatnot, I'm going to use an example, which I don't often do, but take a look at the Amazing Spider-Man movies. The first one had a costume in it that was pretty not great. But then the second one, they made the costume almost exactly like the comics. It was what every Spider-Man fan had wanted to see. I imagine that something similar will happen here. That even if in the Batman vs. Superman movies, this is just the costume that we get.
You're talking about that stupid, like, Power Rangers outfit the Green Goblin wore in the first one, right? Oh, well, no. That was terrible.
That was terrible. No, like in the first Amazing Spider-Man movie with Andrew
the Amazing Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Got you. All right.
In the Amazing Spider-Man movies, the Spider-Man costume was not awesome. But then in the second Amazing Spider-Man 2, the Spider-Man costume was awesome. Like, even as a person who does not enjoy the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I admit that costume's spot the fuck on. Like, it's perfect. I imagine we'll see something like that here.
I think they should have went for embarrassing, like, 1970s Spider-Man with the web pits.
With the wings?
The web pits he had going on.
I disagree with you. But yeah, I imagine we'll see that happen, especially if we see her in Batman vs. Superman and that costume sucks and people are vocal about it, then the next costume we see will be better. Guaranteed. Because if there's anything that Warner Brothers is good at, they're very reactionary. As soon as they get negative feedback on that, they'll change that shit. So I imagine the costume...
No matter what the cost.
No matter what the cost, exactly. So I imagine the costume, at least, we'll see get better.
I don't know, man. They did the Batman movies for fucking ever, and it took until it was away from Warner Brothers for Batman to be able to turn his head. So
that's not false. That's not false at all. But yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see. As for Gal Gadot's actual acting abilities, I've only ever seen her in the fucking Fast and Furious movies,
Thank you, my point.
And I was going to say that doesn't leave a whole lot of room for acting prowess. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, we can move on from there. To the next story, David Goyer is developing a prequel series based on Superman's home planet called Krypton.
Wait. It's called Krypton?
The planet
and it's based on
and
the planet?
The series.
Oh man, clever.
Yeah, so basically, it's a prequel story before the main superhero becomes the main superhero, talking about their hometown.
Hey, Gotham seems to be working.
There you go. Sound familiar? That's exactly what's going on. So,
it could be interesting, actually.
It could be interesting.
I don't think it will be, but I think it could be. It has the potential.
I don't know. The thing is, like, if you're going to do a story about Superman's home planet without having Kal-El in it, just do a different sci-fi story. You don't need the Superman, like, you don't need that.
Yes, you do,
mythos.
You really, really do. Because, I mean, look at what has happened to every other space television show that's come out in, like, the last 10 years or so.
You know, Star Trek seems to have done pretty well.
Yeah,
after, like, well, no, I mean, in terms of TV shows, after Deep Space Nine and Voyager, it trailed off. But before that, it was doing really well.
Yeah, but Star Trek had its own foundation set long ago.
True.
So, I mean, that's...
Firefly did really never mind.
Yeah, it went off TV. What about Farscape?
Farscape did really...
No.
What was that one show? Sliders?
Oh, God. Well, there's Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica. That's a fair point.
That's a concession.
Yeah.
Okay. I think they have a chance to tell a good story here.
They do. I admit that, definitely.
If they get creative. But, I mean, basically what they've done is Xeroxed Gotham in space. So I don't think creative's probably their strong point at this juncture. I mean, here's what I foresee. I foresee them telling the story of Jor-El. They're going to tell the story of Jor-El. I haven't read the article. Is that in the article?
Kind of.
They say they're going to tell the story of Jor-El? Because I think they've already talked about Gotham and how it's going to end when Bruce Wayne puts on the suit.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I think they're going to do the exact same thing.
Well, it'll end when they
they shoot Clark Kent off into fucking space towards Earth. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm that interested in this.
Nope.
I'll give it a try.
Superman's bullshit, so...
That's true. Speaking of bullshit, Channing Tatum is getting his own Gambit movie in the X-Men universe. How's that make you feel?
A little dead inside.
Would you say there's like a pool of dead inside?
No, I'd say it's just this general sick feeling, actually. I wasn't a fan of Channing Tatum's Gambit in the first place.
Wait, Channing Tatum wasn't Gambit.
Who was Gambit in
X-Men Origins?
Yeah, who was that?
That was Taylor Kitsch, John Carter.
I wasn't a fan of him.
Yeah, no, nor should you have been. Josh Holloway would have been a perfect Gambit.
Josh Holloway would have been a perfect Gambit. Channing Tatum as Gambit sucks. That's just a sucky choice.
Yeah. Guess what? We're gonna see it. It'll also be written by...
You know who would have been a safe choice? Benedict Cumberbatch.
You know what? I'd watch that.
Fuck.
I'd watch that. It'll be written by the same guy who wrote the new RoboCop movie, Josh Zedimer. So he's going to be writing the screenplay, starring Channing Tatum, and I can't remember who's directing it. Shit, I can't remember. I don't see it here.
I'm going to hurl the first time Channing Tatum says Mon Ami.
Do you think they're going to adhere to that?
They're going to make him Cajun.
Do you think they're going to?
I think they're going to.
I don't have as much hope about this as you do. This is Fox we're talking about.
I don't hope they make him Cajun. I think they will, though.
Why?
Because...
Since when has Fox done anything that adheres to the comic book characters?
Wolverine still has claws. That's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Even with just Wolverine, that's it.
Gambit, he's like gonna have laser vision or some shit. That's like gonna be Gambit's thing. He's like, his power is he's abnormally lucky. Haha, Gambit. Fuck. Everything
And he's gonna be looking for love.
Oh god, it's all the wrong places.
So yeah, I'm not very hopeful for this, but I'll see it. I'm like a battered wife when it comes to X-Men movies. I'll see it. What?
Explain yourself.
X-Men movies consistently disappoint me.
But you keep going back?
I keep going back. I keep being like, maybe this one will be the one. Maybe this one will... Like, I felt that way a long time about First Class.
I about said something really, really horrible and offensive, but then I decided against it.
Oh, God.
I wouldn't have meant it. It struck me as funny, is all.
You realize now you have to say it.
Well, I mean, is it really the battered wife that's always going back, or isn't it the battered husband who's always disappointed? Like, well, I'll give her one more shot. I mean, that's more how I feel going into a fucking Fox movie.
Given some of your past relationships, I can understand how you came to that conclusion.
Oh, you don't know anything. Like I said, I didn't mean it.
All right. Well, we can move into our TV section now. And just one story here. There is a modern Peter Pan series, Peter Pan series, picked up by Fox called League of Pan. So, yeah, basically just like how they're doing with Beauty and the Beast and Sleepy Hollow and fucking Once Upon a Time and all that shit. They're developing modern day Peter Pan show. So the series is set 15 years after the Lost Boys have left Neverland, and we'll see them reunited in modern day LA, where they realize that someone is hunting them down one by one.
So it's grown-up Lost Boys?
Yeah.
I would have called it Lost Men.
Lost Men.
I would have.
I'd have called it Boys to Men.
They could have just called it Lost. They would have had a huge following. Like right out of the chute.
That would have been good.
So the first time I hear a grown man say second star on the right, I'm gonna fucking shit myself laughing so hard. Like, my God, get that man some tights.
So yeah, what do you think of League of Pan?
I like Peter Pan.
Me too.
I like Peter Pan.
Do you think Peter Pan will be in it? He's the one hunting them down.
You think so?
Fuck no. They
think
wouldn't make Peter Pan that much of a villain.
Really? I smell a gritty reboot.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be good.
Hook pulls up in a van with a pedo stash on his face. You guys want some candy? This weird Hook hand.
You know what, though? Never mind. We'll do a gritty reboot of Peter Pan because I have ideas.
Oh, God.
I have ideas. And guess what? They're not good ones. They're not pleasant.
All right.
So.
Way to sell it, man.
Yes. So yeah, into our Dude Seriously section this week. I'll let you take these stories that you put on here. I'll let you run this segment. All
right. So to begin with, something that I thought was kind of cool, and I think it's kind of funny that I'm doing it because I always argue about the definition of art.
Yep.
Nature's 3D printers using 80,000 honeybees to create an amazing sculpture. How cool is that shit? Basically, these artists got together on behalf of Dewar's, which is a booze company, and they invented a way to basically make bees in a confined area create a honeycomb in a specific shape. And they're using that to create sculptures out of honeycomb that's basically they're making sculptures without doing any of the work. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Bees are doing it. It's 3B printing.
3B printing.
Yep.
That's clever and awesome and terrible. So, yeah. This is pretty fucking awesome.
Isn't it, though? So, yeah. I mean, I don't think I need to spend a lot of time talking about it. It's a bunch of bugs making stuff. I mean, that's what it is. So, yeah, we'll move on to the next thing, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so this one. All right, try to picture this in your head as I describe the scenario to you, okay? The headline is, Man rowing across Atlantic claims he was attacked by pirates. That's right, I said rowing across the Atlantic. He's in a rowboat. And he got boarded?
Yeah.
So,
like pirates would, they absconded upon him near the island of Tortuga.
Tortuga. Yeah, that's something. All right, he was rowing by himself towards Miami and ultimately towards New York City in a 5,000-mile crossing. He's tried it a couple of times before. He's failed every single time. Presumably not because of pirates every time, though. He's doing it to raise awareness about HIV and AIDS. And apparently he got boarded by pirates 140 miles to the east of Tortuga. And as of the time that the article was published, he was still in a great deal of danger, apparently.
Yeah.
They basically took everything but the clothes off his back and left him stranded.
That's fucked up.
I believe they left him stranded, like on Haiti, I think is what they said. So, yeah.
It didn't say they left him stranded on Haiti. They said they left him stranded near Haiti. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's
in the ocean.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, so this guy's dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he's dead because pirates robbed his dinghy. That's funny.
You dumb bastard. It's not a schooner.
It's a sailboat. Alright, next story. So dig this. You ever been pissed off? Just so pissed off at like a corporation or a food chain of some sort?
Yes, I've been pissed off.
How pissed off have you been? What was the most you've done when you've been upset?
Wrote to them on Twitter or email.
Okay, so you spoke out.
I spoke
voiced
out,
your
yes.
concern.
I voiced my concerns, yes.
All right, so Zachary Raphael Torrance robbed 4 subways at he's being accused of having robbed 4 subways at gunpoint after failing to lose weight on the Jared diet.
This dude is a fucking idiot. God, you're dumb,
He
dude.
told the police in Alabama that his subway diet failed and he wanted his money back.
You're a fucking dullard. Fucking A.
Yep. So, yeah, that's basically the up and down of the story. I mean, he's 18 years old. But, yeah, I don't know. I can't say anything to defend this man. I mean, my God.
There's nothing you can say. Why would you do this? Like, okay. I understand that you're upset. I get that. But you don't rob a place because you're mad. Like, if you're in extreme financial, like, desperation, got no resources, you're at the end of your rope. In fact, you don't have rope anymore. I can understand trying to rob a place. But because you're too lazy to get off your ass and walk down the street a few times to lose some weight, you rob a place? Get the fuck out of here.
All right. Well, and moreover, I mean, I think that the public's response to this would have been a lot better if he had a little monkey with a fez and a song ready. One jump ahead of the hitman, one swing ahead of the sword.
Nope. I'd have given him he gets no quarter with me. Well, he's being held at the Jefferson County Jail with a $250,000 bond.
Because he's a street rat.
He was born a street rat. He'll die a street rat, and only his fleas will mourn him.
He's all like, what's mourn mean?
Nice.
All right. So yeah, that was the thing. Let's move on.
All right.
Next, Mart.
Oh, Walmart.
I relish the opportunity to fucking rip Walmart a new one because it's a heartless fucking corporation that's destroying everything good in the world. So, on
That's
that
true.
note, let me tell you about the newest atrocity that I've heard about. Okay?
Okay.
Halloween costumes. You're shopping for Halloween costumes. They have, like, normal Halloween costumes. They have sexy Halloween costumes. They have little kid Halloween costumes. They have plus-size Halloween costumes. Except Walmart labeled their plus-size Halloween costume for women fat girl costumes on their website.
That's some bullshit.
That's so not okay.
That is very much not okay.
Okay. So, I mean, that said, a shopper, Christine Washburn, apparently posted on Twitter about it, stating that, this is definitely rude. Her exact quote being, "Not sure labeling these as fat girl costumes is the best approach. #rude." And Walmart basically gave a canned response, like that "we don't give a shit what you just said" response,
yep.
Which is, "Comments and suggestions are important to us and help make Walmart even better. Even better. It can be better than it already is. Did you know that? Walmart could get better."
Can it?
Oh my God.
Because they haven't proven that to me thus far.
So, as of Monday, when nothing had happened or been addressed or been changed and the phrase was still on the website.
Can we pause for a moment? I'd like to go back to that previous statement, the even better part.
Uh-huh.
Because that precludes okay, let me rephrase. That assumes that they're good in the first place.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. Even better is like, oh, we're in the middle, but we can get better. They're actually at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be, comments and suggestions are important to us and help make Walmart not suck.
Help make Walmart tolerable.
Right.
So, as of Monday, the phrase was still on the website, which prompted Gawker-owned Jezebel, which is a blog site, to run a story on it. Which, I mean, as soon as it wasn't a customer, just a normal human being complaining and taking offense and having a problem with it, when it was somebody who could promote it to the masses, then Walmart made a change.
Yeah. Well,
because they didn't give a fuck that one person had a big problem with it and had a legitimate concern, because it's Walmart and they don't give a fuck about anything.
True. I could go on about how Walmart paid attention to Jezebel because Jezebel is owned by Gawker, and Gawker is an actual company, and companies consider other companies over people. But that would lead us into the whole abortion debate and birth control and all of that, and we don't want to go there. So, continue.
Oh, the Hobby Lobby thing.
Yes.
Okay, I was trying to catch up. All right. So, after that happened, Walmart ended up dropping the phrase from the website and issued a statement that said, "This never should have..." I'm sorry, let me put on my Walmart voice. "This never should have happened and been on our site. It's unacceptable and we apologize. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Oh, good. Makes me giggle.
That is only the latest problem that Walmart's had after the whole fucking Tracy Morgan thing and the fucking being Walmart disaster. So yeah. So that's the up and down of that story.
Yeah, you want to go from Walmart directly back to Walmart?
Let's hear it.
All right. So in this next story, a Walmart shoplifter threatens to infect employee with HIV.
Was it because they wouldn't change the labeling of their costumes?
I hope so.
I'm going to give you fat girl AIDS.
That was weirdly strange and offensive. Jesus. I don't even know what to make of that.
It's on my resume.
So, it says a wannabe shoplifter at a Dallas Walmart somehow thought it would be a good idea to threaten a store employee with HIV infection rather than get in trouble for trying to pilfer $11 worth of frozen food. So, basically, when the police, when the employee confronted the 25-year-old shopper about her, shoplifting, she said she is HIV positive and told the worker, "I can infect whomever I please," and then attacked the employee, who received some scratches on his face, but it says here he's unlikely to have been infected during the confrontation.
What a disgusting human.
Oh, God. Can we even qualify this person as human anymore?
We can until we give her the death penalty.
Okay. Oh, yeah. She apparently also had a couple of outstanding arrest warrants as well. So she's gone to jail. And thank goodness.
Yeah, that's just...
Does that qualify as everything sucks? Does that
Yeah, that it does. I mean, that's just a disgusting, revolting example of life on this earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I've known Marxist utopias that have more class than that.
Saying a lot.
That's a lie. I've never met a Marxist utopia.
Oh.
But she's still a bitch. Like,
fair enough. All right. Well, we can move out of that into our next section. So, Caleb, take it away, sir.
I'm gonna lay it on you. Okay.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever given myself the heebie-jeebies researching a take it away section before, but I have some stuff that will give nightmares.
Oh.
Stuff that is generally skin-crawlingly horrifying.
That doesn't fill me with a great deal of confidence about what's coming up next, but let's go for it.
So I'm going to give you the most horrifying medical conditions known to man.
Oh, no.
All right? Number 1 is Stone Man syndrome. You ever heard of it?
No.
It's fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva. And
that sounds like you just made up words.
It's a disorder in which muscle tissue, tendons, and ligaments gradually turn into bone. It usually starts in the patient's neck and shoulders and works its way down the body and into the limbs. The mouth, too, gets affected, and it becomes nearly impossible to eat or speak. I would assume screaming is out of the question.
Yeah.
And the bones that are formed around the lungs make it hard to breathe and sometimes suffocate the victims. Surgery actually makes the condition worse, as the body's response to trauma is to create more bone. Yeah, so, yeah.
Oh.
And I started with that one.
That's fucked up. And terrifying. Jeez.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Let's move on to number 2. Fat girl AIDS. No, I'm kidding. All right. No. All right, so number 2.
That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, all right. Hold on, I need a drink of water now.
You're going to hell for that one.
Water allergy.
Ooh.
Despite the high water content, are you okay? Can we get through this?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sure? You fucking fell apart, sir. All right.
All right. Continue.
Water allergy. Despite the high water content of the human body, some people are allergic to water. It isn't a true allergy per se because it doesn't trigger a histamine response. However, the sufferers of the condition develop itchy hives and welts after mere minutes of exposure to water.
Jeez.
Yeah. I don't want to think about that either.
That's
what if you're allergic to water and you're mostly made out of it?
You're just constantly allergic to yourself. You sweat and break out in hives.
Yeah. I bet that's how Larry King feels, like all the time, you know? Number 3. Wool sorters disease.
Okay.
People who work with sheep are vulnerable to a pulmonary form of anthrax that comes from inhaling spores found in the sheep's wool. It starts out with symptoms that resemble the flu, but it quickly escalates with symptoms that include the rotting and bleeding of your lymph nodes, then meningitis, high fever and severe abdominal pain, and that's all followed by a fatal respiratory collapse.
Jeez.
Yeah. Number 4 is rose gardener's disease. Roses are a source of a fungus, and forgive me, this one's going to be difficult to say, known as Sporothrix schenki.
Cool.
And it can fucking kill you.
Okay.
It enters a human system through small cuts and abrasions, like those made by a
rose thorn,
for example. And it causes...
Sorry, continue.
It causes bumps and lesions, not just at the point of entry, but all along every lymph node that it crosses paths with. And if it's left untreated and ignored, the lesions begin to resemble boils and eventually become chronic weeping ulcers.
Jeez.
And if that's not gross and scary enough, that's only if it enters a cut. This shit can be inhaled as well, which leads to chronic coughing, holes in your lungs.
That doesn't sound healthy at all.
And then potentially tuberculosis. Just to wrap it up.
Right.
So I didn't save the worst one for last. I saved the worst one for number 5 because I need something to kind of cleanse my palate.
Okay.
After I do this one. This is legitimately, I think, the most horrifying thing on this list.
Okay.
Encephalitis lethargica.
Okay.
Also known as sleepy sickness. It swept the world in 1915 as an epidemic, and again, by my own measure, it's likely the most horrifying thing on this list, or that I've ever heard. The disease attacks the brain, leaving some victims in a perpetual state of sleep paralysis, meaning that they're unable to move or communicate, but are fully aware of their surroundings forever.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Other symptoms, if that doesn't occur, can include high fever, sore throat, headache, lethargy, double vision, muscular pain, tremors, neck rigidity, delayed physical and mental response, coma, and psychosis.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I've had sleep paralysis. If you've ever had that shit.
Yeah, terrifying shit.
It terrifies you. Like, I get it occasionally now just because I don't get enough sleep, so my body is requiring more sleep when my brain is like, we've got shit to do. And I wake up and my body is still like, fuck this, I'm not moving. And it terrifies me. Every time. I have to like force myself to breathe harder, to rock my body, to force it to move, to regain control. Freaks me out.
Yeah. It's worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I've never looked at something and thought to myself, man, I would rather have Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yeah.
But I would.
Yeah.
River blindness.
Okay.
Is it bad that they call it river blindness? Probably because the actual blindness that could be caused is less diabolical than the symptoms caused by the condition. As in, I would rather be blind than deal with some of the side effects of this shit.
Oh, that's not awesome.
Forgive me again. Onchocerca volvulus. It's a species of fly. It's a black fly that's found near rivers that likes to inject human beings with microscopic larvae that reproduce and spread under your skin.
Ugh.
Then the worms die, and your immune system goes batshit crazy, and it produces an intense itching sensation in every place that they've reached, which is basically everywhere because they spread all over you. That's not the worst bit. The worst bit is that you can't actually scratch the itch because it comes from under your skin. So basically you're scratching an itch and it's not doing anything. With treatment, this can last a few years.
Oh, with treatment. Awesome.
Yeah. Without treatment, you will be scratching yourself everywhere and nowhere for the rest of your life. The disease itself is not fatal, but the itching alone has driven many of the recipients of the disease to suicide.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, I'd go that route too.
Yeah, me too.
It's like, God bless you, Dr. Kevorkian.
Yeah.
Mucocutaneous leishmaniasis. Mucocutaneous leishmaniasis. All right.
Okay.
It makes your fucking face cave in. Okay. And then it gives you fat girl AIDS. So it's what happens. No,
that's not going to be the title to this show.
I'm not working for that. No. Okay, I mean, can you imagine? I mean, Walmart would be like, hey, we copy marketed that shit. Yeah, it makes your fucking face cave in. It's spread when a sandfly bites you and then it poops in the wound. And the resulting parasite attacks the mucus cavities like your nose and your mouth. And then first it causes painful ulcers in the infected places. And then your nose caves into your mouth and deflates your fucking face like that basketball from Expendables.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Next.
Ugh.
Cotard's delusion. Cotard's delusion is a rare mental disorder wherein the affected person sincerely believes that body parts are missing. Or, alternatively, they believe themselves to be dead. Sufferers tend not to eat or bathe, and they often spend time in cemeteries expressing a desire to be with their own kind. How fucking creepy.
That's really weird.
I'm going to give you one last one. Alien hand syndrome. People with alien hand syndrome have a rogue hand that acts independently and involuntarily of its own accord, grasping things or moving in a way contrary to which the individual wants it to. Think Idle Hands or Evil Dead 2. It's a rare neurological disorder, and the victim is wholly unaware of what the hand is doing or is going to do. Extreme cases have involved involuntarily stuffing food in the mouth, preventing the normal hand from performing simple tasks by force, as in one hand grabs the other and stops it.
Yeah.
Self-inflicted punching and choking.
That's not okay.
No. It's terrible.
That's not okay.
That's terrible. That's all I got for you. 9. Deal with it, OCD people.
Ugh. That's not okay. Again. So, that being said, we can now move into our weekly top 5. The hypocritically acclaimed top 5, how do we put it? Scenes that define a character.
Character-defining scenes.
Character-defining moments. So, working up from number 5. The moment in Army of Darkness, and anyone who's seen it knows this moment, where Bruce Campbell, comes up out of, the well.
The well.
Yeah.
They kicked him into to execute him. They kicked him in there with a deadite.
That's right. And says, "Listen up, you primitive screwheads. This," as he's holding up his shotgun, "is my boomstick."
That's when you knew what Ash was all about.
That's when you knew what Ash was about. That
was a character-defining moment.
That was definitely a character-defining moment.
Number 4, still a little iffy on it, so let's let you guys just piece it together and pick whichever one you want. Pretend we said the one you like better. So,
there you go.
The Godfather, okay? In The Godfather, Vito Corleone makes a man an offer he can't refuse. Now, what's more character-defining, do you think? When he's saying, "I'll make him an offer he can't refuse." I'm sorry. "I'll make him an offer he can't refuse."
Oh, that was pretty good.
I try. Or
the result of that.
When he finds the brony's head in his fucking bed.
Right. The brony's head.
Either way, it shows both sides of the Godfather. It shows him as a calm, composed, compassionate, thinking strategist, and it shows him as a brutal fucking hand of violence.
Yep.
Defines him as a character.
Yeah. So, number 3. I was tempted to just start laughing like he does in the beginning of that scene.
Ha, ha, ha. Ho. Sorry.
Nice. Anyway, the moment in The Dark Knight where, what's his name? Gamble, Michael Jai White, sends his goon to deal with the Joker after the Joker's like, "Let me show you a magic trick." And just slams the guy's head on the pencil.
Yep. "I'm gonna make this pencil
disappear." That moment in theaters, I saw that movie 8 times in theaters. Once in IMAX, once in IMAX 3D, and then the rest in just regular. And every time, everyone in the theater cringed at that moment.
That's a rude awakening.
Yes.
Like, you wanted to know how the Joker was gonna be in this fucking movie? This is how the Joker is.
There it is.
Character defining.
Yeah, pretty much.
Coming in at number 2, though?
Yeah.
Dr. Jones. I mean, Indiana Jones, okay? And it's in Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking warrior standing in the street, like, whipping about his sword all elaborately, and he's getting ready to fight, and Dr. Jones just whips out the pistol and just blows him away, puts it back like it's fucking nothing.
Just walks off right.
Did it like he just, tossed some popcorn in his mouth or something. He was just like, bam, next.
Yep.
That defined Indiana Jones.
Yep, that let you know
right tool for the job.
Who you were dealing with in that moment. It's pretty good. And the number 1 hypocritically acclaimed character-defining moment, Silence of the Lambs. And Clarice Starling is talking to Hannibal Lecter, and he just looks dead at her and says, "A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti." I did it to give me the creeps.
Yeah. I mean, that was looking into the fucking abyss, is what that was. That was, you were staring into the mouth of madness.
Oh, that shit's creepy. But yeah, that's one of those moments where you're like, oh, he's off his rocker. Gotcha. I know what box to put you in. You're in the fucking crazy box.
So I'm certain we missed some, aren't you?
Oh,
there's some we missed. So, guys, let us know what you think. Make sure that you leave some comments. Tell us what the most character-defining moments in cinema are.
Yes.
we'd be happy to hear it, and maybe we'll put together a part 2.
Oh, that would be awesome. Let us know what you think so we can put together that part 2. And from there, we are all done with this week's episode. So be sure to catch us on iTunes and Stitcher. Leave us a review there, and we will read that live on the air. Also, we are on Facebook at facebook.com/thehypocritics and Twitter at hypocriticspod on Twitter. Also, you can find us on our website, hypocritics.com, thehypocritics.com, as well as our new website and podcast, Oddcast, and the oddcast.com. It's actually just oddcast.com. I'm just fucking everything. Did both of them the opposite way.
Oddcast.com, that's Oddcast, ODDKAST.com.
That's right, where we will be talking about all things. Actually, I'll let Caleb describe it. Describe the Oddcast in a sentence.
It's the best place you can possibly go for horror movie news, horror product reviews, and everything else that otherwise goes bump in the night.
There you go. Like that. So keep an eye out for that. We should be recording a new one next week, but there's one up on the site right now. And if you have any other questions, comments, rants, jokes you'd like to leave us, suggestions for top 5. Offers we can't refuse. I'm not accepting anyone's horse head, though. Leave it to us on contact at thehypocritics.com or hypocriticspodcast@gmail.com. It's up to you. The choice is yours, dear listener. So, yeah. I'll let you end us off here.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. And until next time, remember to please support your local bookstore.
Booyah. See you next time.
When I sleep tonight